Hi, in this video, we will talk about automate put request using REST assured. So in our previous videos, we have seen get and post, all these things. Now in this video, we will talk about put. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use this URL. If you see that, so simple hyphen grocery hyphen store hyphen API dot glitch.me/carts slash colon cart ID slash item slash colon cart item ID. Okay. So, and here I'm going to specify the HTTP method, that is put method. We'll send the request and we'll get the response and we'll try to print or verify the response. This is what we are going to do. Okay. So this is the URL where you can find this documentation regarding this simple grocery store. So if you go there, so this is the URL I'll provide in the description. I'll try to provide. So here you can see that if you come to the cart or update an order. Okay, update an order, not update an order. This is replace an order item. So see, replace an item in the cart, that is put method. Okay, replace an item in the cart, that is put method. So it needs cart ID, you see required fields. It needs cart ID, item ID, and product ID. The quantity is optional. It's not required, but we are going to update the quantity. Okay. So for that, first we'll see a sample that in the Postman. So the same thing we'll try to automate using our REST assured. So let me go to Postman. So here I created a get method. So first I'll get all the items from the cart. Okay. For that we need cart ID. So I am providing in the this, when you say this is a colon. So if you mention question mark, that is query parameter. So if you provide the colon, that is path variables. Okay. So cart ID, I provide the cart ID, and when I try to send this, you see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 products in the cart. Okay. So each product having quantity 1. Okay. So each quantity, I want to update the quantity of any one of the products from 1 to 2 or 3 or whatever I need. Okay. So for that, so before that, we'll discuss about some more things like what is put request. Okay. Put request is one of the HTTP methods, as we know. It is used to update or create a resource on the server. So this is very important. It will try to update or create a resource on the server. Okay. So post also performs the same thing, but post will create the resource, not update the resource, but put can update and can create. So put request is often used to modify the state or update the data of an existing resource identified by a URI. Okay. If you have a already existing URI, then it will try to identify, modify the state or update the data of that particular URI. The put method in essence ensures that when the same request is repeated, the outcome remains consistent and identical to that of the single request. So how many times you perform the same request, so you will see the same output. Okay, that we'll discuss. If the resource identified by the URI does not exist, the server may create a new resource with that URI. If you are trying to modify a resource, but that resource is not available, then it will try to create that resource. Okay. So in our upcoming videos, we'll try to discuss more about what is the difference between put and post. Okay. So people normally confuse between put and post. So we'll try to discuss that also in our upcoming videos. But here put means the existing resource you can modify. Okay. So here, these are all existing data I have. Okay? I want to update the quantity of this product from quantity 1 to 5, something like that. Okay. So for that, I created put method. So in the put method, you see sample hyphen grocery hyphen store hyphen APS dot glitch dot me. This is base URI. Then carts slash colon cart ID. You see that cart ID I mentioned, the same cart ID you need to provide. What cart ID you have taken here? Same cart ID you need to take there also. The reason is, with the help of this cart ID only, we are trying to modify the resources. Okay, the data. So cart ID, and the item ID. So item ID means this is the item ID, this is product ID. Okay. In the URL, you need to mention the cart ID and item ID. And I want to update the quantity, right? That information I'll provide in the body. So this is the product ID you need to provide that is required, and quantity. Quantity. So here, which quantity I want to 4643. So that quantity I want to change from 1 to 5. Okay. So this is the cart ID, this is the item ID. You need to pass as a path variables, and in the body you need to provide the product ID, and from which quantity to what quantity to what quantity to what quantity you want to update. Okay. So 1 to 5. I'll try to execute this. Send. You don't see any output. There is no output, but this is 204 no content. So the server successfully processed the request, but is not returning any content it is saying. So successfully processed. So how we will make sure that this is updated? So we'll go back to the get items. So 4643 we updated from 1 to 5. Right. So I'll send. You see that? It updated to 5. Means we are successfully able to update this one. So I'll try to execute this one more time. Done. I'll try to do one more time. How many times you do the same operation, it will not change from it will be 5 only. Okay. So if you execute the same thing one more time, 5 plus 5, 10, not something like that. Okay. How many times you perform this one? The quantity is updating to 5. That's it. It is 5. That is the difference. Okay. So nothing changes if you execute the same put request multiple times. You will get the same output. Okay. That you need to remember. So the same thing we'll try to automate using rest assured. So let me go to Eclipse. So I created a class called rest assured put request, and I'm creating two methods here. One is get all items from the cart. I need to verify, right? We are doing this, right? So the same thing we'll try to do. So here, the problem is, so this is the problem. Let me put that here for some time. So we need to parameterize these things. Okay. So because of that, what we'll do? First, we'll try to construct the URI. Base URI is equals to the base URI is, so this is the base URI. Okay. And I need to pass cart ID, right? Here I want cart ID. So let me take that cart ID. What is that cart ID? So we'll take from here. Sorry. So this is the cart ID. So now we'll try to construct the endpoint. That is base URI. Sorry, not base URI. So what we can do, endpoint, we can say like, this is what we need, right? This is what we need. Here, this is as it is, plus this is also as it is. Okay, but this information we need to get. So that is what cart ID. So we need to replace this cart ID. Here we cannot give that colon. Okay, so cart ID. So this is how I constructed endpoint. This is base URI. Okay, now we are good to go. So what I'll do, I'll take rest assured. I'm using DSL way. Sorry, rest assured dot given. Okay, given dot. You can pass base URI here. So base URI, and then we need to perform get. Okay, what is that get? Get will accept that endpoint. Okay, and then I need to print. So status code is what? When you say 200, normally it's not needed, but I just log.on or log.body. Okay, so I'll log.body. This is what we have seen, right? So let me try to execute. I'm seeing some errors. Sorry, missed. I actually mentioned at the rate test. I don't know. So now if I try to print, means execute and try to print the output, the body. Now you see that same output, you see quantity we change it to 5 using what? Postman. So we'll try to update the same thing 5 to something else. Okay. So that we will write here. Okay. And we'll see two ways as we are saying the two ways, right? So first we'll try to construct the body. In the put we have, what is that put in the, we have, sorry, here product ID and quantity we need, right? So that we need. So for that I use JSON object. Okay. JSON body, otherwise request body we can say, is equal to new JSON object. Okay. So JSON object dot put of, what is that? Product ID. Okay. Product ID we have 4643. What is that? Yeah, 4643. And JSON object request body dot put, and we need quantity, right? Quantity. So I'm updating to 10. Okay, this time I'll update from 5 to 10. So for this, what we need, if you want to use this one, need to add JSON dependency that we already added in our previous videos. Okay, just an idea. So if you want to use this JSON object class, we need to add JSON dependency. That's how we can construct the request body. Okay, now we need what is that? This is the URL, right? We need to construct this. Okay, base URI is common, cart ID is common, so we'll take endpoint also here. Okay, so base URI is common, cart ID common. We need here, see, one more thing is, what is that? Item ID, right? So we need item ID also here. Okay, what is that item ID? So we'll go to here. So this is the item ID, right? We need that item ID. And then we need to construct the endpoint. So after items, we need this, right? So till here, and I'll remove this. So item ID is item ID. Okay. After items, we have a slash that we mentioned, and then plus, we don't need this colon. Item ID we created in this string. So this item ID. So we constructed endpoint and base URI both. Now we have everything. Now in the first way, what we'll do? So here, this is the actual way one. Okay. So what is that? Rest assured dot base URI is equals to base URI. Right, we can directly give this information here. Otherwise, we can do like this. We already did. So because of that, I'm directly taking that. So request specification. Okay. Request spec is equals to, So rest assured dot given. Okay. Now we need to request spec dot. We need to mention the content type as we are providing that content, right? So content type. What is that content type? JSON. So content type dot JSON. And we need to provide that body also, right? Request spec dot body. So when you provide this JSON request body, we need to convert to toString. Yeah. So that's all, right? So then a response. So response is equals to request spec dot. We need to put what is that method? Put method. Here we need to provide the remaining endpoint. Right, endpoint. This is what we need to pass here. Okay. So then we got the response. So now we'll try to assert dot. So it will not provide any output, right? So we'll just assert dot. Sorry. Assert equals. So response dot get. Sorry, there is a typo. Dot get status code. What is the status code we are expecting? 204. Right. 204 we are expecting. So once you execute this, the quantity should become from 5 to 10 for this 4643. Okay. That is what we are expecting with this put method. Right. So what we need to do, we need to construct that base URI. So what is that? We need to provide the, it's very similar to post method. Okay. So we constructed the request body. So we constructed base URI and then passing the same thing to request. Once you get the, here we need to mention put method instead of post or get something like that. We need to provide the put method. So what it will do, it will update this resource information. What is the quantity? Well, 5 to 10. What is that quantity here? 5. Now after this execution, it will become 5 to 10. Okay. First we'll try to execute this. Successful. We don't have any body to print. So because of that, we asserted status code. So we got 204. Because of that, it's passed 204. Okay. So how we'll make sure that? So because of that, I'll execute this get all items from the cart. Then the quantity should be 10 now. You see that? It became 10. Because of that, I written this method also to show. Okay. So how many times you execute this? One more time you execute, the quantity will be 10 only. The same thing we have seen in the executed successfully in the Postman. Same thing. Let me run again this one. So again, you will have a quantity 10. You see that? So that's how you can use put method. Okay. So let me comment this code. We'll see way to. So here, what I'll do, I'll change it to 15 to 12. Sorry, 10 to 12. Okay. So rest assured dot given. And what you need to do, provide here after given base URI dot base URI, that is base URI, and then we need to provide the content type dot JSON, and then what we need to do, body is JSON request body dot toString. So sorry, this is given. Yeah, after this we need to when. What is that when? We need to provide a put method. In the put method, we need to provide the endpoint. And then status code is 204. That's it. That's it. Right. given dot base URI content a body. When you perform put method, then verify the status code. Okay. Now we are changing from 10 to 12. Okay. Let me run this. Successfully executed. So I'll execute get method. Now that quantity should be 12. You see that? It became 12. Right. DSLV also it is working fine. Okay. So this is how you can perform put method in rest assured, and you can update the resource. How many times you perform the same thing, nothing will change. You will get the same output. So that is one of the things you need to remember about the put. Okay. This is all about put in rest assured. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for interesting updates. Thank you.